Her molten gaze seared my soul, a forbidden pulse dragging me deeper. Could I resist her silken trap? The penthouse thrummed with danger, its velvet shadows cloaking my trembling form as Mr. Langston's footsteps reverberated like a storm's prelude. His voice, a low growl laced with suspicion, cut through the jasmine-scented air, each syllable a blade grazing my guilt. "Sophia, what's this chaos?" he demanded, his sharp eyes scanning the room, lingering on the rumpled chaise where petals lay scattered like confessions of our sin. I crouched behind the screen, my breath a shallow gasp, the key in my pocket a burning weight that seared my thigh, its edge digging into my flesh as if to anchor me to this crucible of desire. Sophia stood radiant, her naked curves a luminous shield against the dim light, her skin glistening with a subtle sheen of sweat, her hips swaying with a deliberate grace that held her father's gaze. "Just a clumsy client, father," she purred, her voice a velvet caress woven with deception, her hand brushing his arm with a tenderness that masked her intent. Her eyes flicked to me, a fleeting spark of forbidden ecstasy that ignited my loins, her bosom heaving with a calculated tremble that promised pleasures yet to come. Her scent, jasmine laced with the musk of her arousal, clung to the air, a heady lure that wrapped around me like a lover's embrace, pulling me deeper into her dangerous dance. My body ached, the memory of her lace-clad heat searing my skin, her whisper from the gallery, "Take me further," a siren's call that pulsed through my veins, stoking a fire that refused to die. Mr. Langston's presence was a storm cloud, his suspicion a tangible weight that pressed against my chest, his clenched fist a warning of the reckoning to come. Yet Sophia's nakedness was a spell, her curves a hypnotic distraction, each movement a calculated stroke to divert his wrath. "Let's talk in the study," she cooed, her voice a delicate thread of lies, her hand guiding his arm with a placating grace, her silhouette a promise of salvation as she led him away. The door creaked shut, their voices fading into a muffled hum, but her perfume lingered, a tangible force that enveloped me, its spice and sweetness a chain binding me to her will. I stumbled from my hiding place, my legs trembling, my arousal a throbbing ache that betrayed my every step. The penthouse was alive with her presence, her lace shawl draped over a chair, its delicate threads whispering of her touch, the soft rustle of silk curtains swaying in the breeze, echoing her sultry laughter, her perfume clinging to my jacket, a brand that marked me as hers. My phone buzzed, her text a relentless flame that scorched my resolve. "You're mine tonight, Ryan. I feel your heat still," each word dripping with a possessive hunger that stirred my hardness, pulling me back to the gallery where our sin had begun. The rain-slicked streets blurred as I drove, the city's neon glow a faint tease against the storm in my soul, the penthouse looming like a beacon of temptation, its windows aglow with the promise of her embrace. The door opened to reveal Sophia, her silk robe a whisper of fabric that clung to her curves, its hem slipping to reveal the smooth curve of her shoulder, the faint outline of her sensitive peaks teasing through the translucent weave. "You're late, my darling," she murmured, her voice a sultry invitation that stroked my soul, her hand pulling me inside with a gentle tug on my collar, her fingers tracing my jaw with a possessive intent that sent shivers down my spine. Daniel lounged in the corner, his shirt unbuttoned to reveal a chiseled chest, his smirk a taunt that stirred a primal jealousy deep within me. "Back for more, Ryan," he drawled, his eyes raking over my tense form, lingering on the bulge straining against my jeans, his gaze a challenge that fueled my desire and dread. The air was thick with anticipation, the room a crucible of lust where every glance, every breath, was a step deeper into the abyss. Her touch was a flame, igniting my faltering resolve. "He's here for me," she whispered, her lips brushing my ear, her breath a hot caress that weakened my knees, sending a rush of heat to my loins. She pressed her body against mine, her bosom heaving, the silk stretching to accentuate her quivering curves, her hand sliding to my waist, fingers teasing the edge of my arousal with a slow, deliberate stroke that made my breath hitch. Daniel watched, his eyes dark with approval, his presence a voyeuristic thrill that pushed me further into her web, his silent encouragement a spark that fed the fire within me. "Feel my forbidden heat," she gasped, guiding my hand to her thigh, her skin slick with sweat, her moan soft as she ground her hips against me in a sensual rhythm that echoed in my pulse. The room spun with her scent, her robe slipping further to reveal the shadow of her lace panties, their delicate weave a tantalizing promise that pulled me deeper into her spell. Her body became a rhythm, a dance of forbidden passion that consumed my senses. "Touch me deeper," she murmured, her hand guiding mine upward, the lace yielding to my trembling fingers, her body arching with a soft moan that fueled my hunger, her heat radiating through the fabric like a beacon of desire. The mirror reflected our tangled forms, her quivering curves, my tense arousal, Daniel's commanding presence, a tableau of lust that pulsed with every breath, a visual symphony that drowned my conscience in a tide of want. She pulled me closer, her lips hovering near mine, her breath mingling in a dance of desire, her tongue flicking the air with a silent plea that set my soul ablaze. "Dance with us," she whispered, her fingers unzipping me with a deft touch, her hand igniting my hardened length with a slow, sensual stroke that sent shivers up my spine, each movement a chain that bound me to her will. The dance intensified, her moans a melody that wove through the air, drawing me deeper into the abyss of her allure. Daniel leaned closer, his hand resting on his own arousal, his smirk widening as he watched, his presence a silent encouragement that pushed me further into her trap. The penthouse itself conspired against me, its walls alive with her essence, her perfume in every corner, her mirrors reflecting my shame, her soft gasps of phantom in the air. I replayed the gallery moment, her crimson dress slipping to reveal her thigh, her gasps as she leaned into me, her hand guiding mine to her waist, each memory a dagger of lust and guilt that pierced my heart. Sophia's touches grew bolder, her body a lure I couldn't escape, her whispers promising a plunge into a forbidden ecstasy that threatened to consume me whole. Her rhythm became a pulse, a heartbeat that synced with mine, her lace shifting to reveal more of her intimate contours, her gasps growing louder as my fingers explored her heat. She guided my hand higher, her nails grazing my wrist with a possessive intent, her body trembling with a need that mirrored my own. "Feel me, Ryan," she gasped, her fingers intertwining with mine, sliding upward, teasing the edge of her forbidden zone with a slow deliberation that made her quiver, her moans a reward that stoked my hunger. The mirror captured every movement, her glistening skin, my tense desire, Daniel's dark gaze, a visual feast that pushed me to the brink, my arousal throbbing against her hip. Her scent enveloping me in a heady mix of spice and desire that drowned my resistance. But a sudden crash, a vase toppling in the hall, shattered the erotic haze, pulling Daniel to his feet with a muttered curse. Sophia froze, her sweat-slicked body pressing against me, her lace-clad heat rubbing against my thigh with a desperate rhythm that made my breath hitch. "Hide," she hissed, shoving me toward the closet, her robe falling to the floor in a silken cascade, her nakedness a shield as she moved to distract. The door creaked open, and Mr. Langston's voice roared, "Sophia, enough of these games." His silhouette filled the doorway, his eyes blazing with a fury that chilled my blood, his fist clenched as he scanned the room, his gaze grazing the closet's edge where I cowered, my heart pounding against my ribs. Sophia stepped forward, her naked form a radiant distraction, her hips swaying with a deliberate grace that held his attention, her voice a lie as smooth as silk. "Just Daniel, father," she cooed, her hand gesturing toward the chaise, her eyes darting to me with a silent plea thick with desire. The silence stretched, a taut wire ready to snap, as Mr. Langston's eyes searched the shadows, hunting for my guilt. My arousal pulsed, a relentless ache that betrayed my fear, the key's edge digging into my palm, a reminder of the choice I faced: flee and preserve what was left of my honor, or stay and surrender to the abyss of her desire. Sophia moved closer to her father, her voice softening, her nakedness a shield that trembled with anticipation. "Let's talk outside," she suggested, her hand on his arm, her curves a lure to divert his wrath. The tension mounted, a storm brewing in the air, as Mr. Langston hesitated, his gaze lingering on the scattered petals, the rumpled chaise, the faint shimmer of her perfume that hung like a confession. A sudden thud, perhaps a dropped book, froze us all, his eyes locking on the shadow of my foot, and I knew the moment of truth was upon me. Would he find me, or would Sophia's seduction weave another lie to save us from his wrath? What a scorching cliffhanger! Will Sophia's silken lies shield Ryan, or will Mr. Langston's fury expose their forbidden heat? Like, subscribe, and hit that bell to catch episode 6, day 7 tomorrow, June 27th. Your support fuels our sultry saga. Let's grow this seductive story together.